So you are wanting to get a new lens and you're confused. Should you get a 35? Should you get a 50? Should you get an 85? Should you get a zoom? Should you get a prime? It's all confusing when you're first starting out. But I think there's something we can do to help make that next lens purchase a little easier for you. For instance, the first logical choice is the Nifty 50. If you've done any research, this is probably going to be the first lens that's going to be on your radar for a plethora of reasons. One, you can normally get it brand new for about $100 used. You can get it even cheaper. It is 50 millimeters, which is a great focal length for portraits, all kinds of work. It's not too wide, it's not too tight. And also it is an f1.8 aperture, which is going to normally be a huge upgrade over your kit lens, and it's going to allow you to get that blurry background that you've probably seen with more professional work. So maybe the Nifty 50 is your first purchase. The buy once, cry once solution is a 24-70. Definitely the most versatile lens I have ever owned. And I know that may seem like a cop-out to say a zoom lens that covers several focal lengths is the lens that I should buy, but as a professional photographer, believe me when I say I could do 90% of the work that I do with this lens. It covers from 24 all the way to 70. It's f2.8, which is pretty fast, and it's also going to give you that nice blurry background that you're probably looking for. Now, if the f2.8 version is still a little bit out of your price range, even on the used market, most manufacturers have an f4 version that would also be worth looking at because it's still going to give you all of those versatile focal lengths. So give that a look. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the video, I said I was going to give you a tip to help you decide your next lens. I suggest you rent a 24-70. And I know we just established that you might not be able to afford it, but here's why. Rent the 24-70. Rent it for a weekend, rent it for a week, whatever. But the goal is to shoot tons of photos, shoot all the style of photography that you think you're gonna shoot street, shoot landscape, shoot portraits, just take tons of photos. Then get them into your editing suite and pay attention to the metadata. Now that you've taken all those pictures, I wanna show you a quick little tip in Lightroom. So if you'll just go ahead and hit I on your keyboard, the first time what you're gonna see is the file name, the dimensions in which you shot it, as well as the date and time. But if you go ahead and hit I one more time, you're gonna see the metadata. So I shot this with my 24-70 at 41 millimeters. This next frame was at 50 millimeters, 42 millimeters. But again, to reiterate what I stated earlier, if you just want a good prime lens that doesn't have great distortion, it's not too wide, it's not too tight, get a 35 or a 50 mil. I don't think you'll be disappointed. But once you settle on this lens, don't neglect the used market. I'm not saying you can't buy new, but you might be able to save several bucks if you buy used. So buy from like KEH.com, MPB.com. Those places are very reputable. They buy and sell used gear. That's their business. I've never bought a new lens, and I'm pretty sure if I count right, I own 10 lenses right now. Unless it came with the camera, I have always bought used. Hopefully this video was helpful in helping you. Hopefully this video was helpful in helping you. Hopefully this video was helpful in answering your question of which lens should I buy. But the absolute best advice I can give you, rent that 24-70. That way you'll know with your experience, not just somebody on YouTube, not just some forum that you read, you, the shooter, are gonna learn which focal lengths you prefer to shoot with. Buy that lens, and I think you'll be happy. If you like this video, consider subscribing, stick around. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it if you did. Totally up to you, I'll not force you to. But I appreciate you watching these videos. It makes me happy to know that I'm helping someone somewhere along their photography journey. Keep shooting, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. I really could sell every lens in my kit, with the exception of two. Keep the 24-70 f2.8, keep the 70-200 f2.8, and then I cover from 24 millimeters all the way to 200 millimeters at f2.8. It's not a zoom versus prime debate, but the versatility of a zoom lens can't be beaten. Now, of course, you could always zoom with a prime by walking forward or walking backwards. They call it zooming with your feet, but you're technically not zooming at that point. your image is different because now your compression is different, your composition is different. So yeah, on the fly, a zoom lens, very versatile.